So, you want to target your cover letter. At this point, you should already have a job ad, or an internship ad, or some sort of something that you want, and you are taking a look at it, and you've highlighted the parts that seem relevant. You've looked at the requirements, you've looked at the preferences, you've looked at your own resume, and you have targeted your resume by maybe moving the order around, by using white space or phrasing to highlight the parts of your resume that meet the requirements and preferences for this job ad. And now you need to write a letter or an email to apply for this position. And be aware that this is a screening mechanism. This is an opportunity to get an interview. Not get a job. Nobody's going to give you a job based on your cover letter and resume. It's an opportunity to get an interview. So the length does not have to be incredibly long. You don't get extra points for having 7 paragraphs. It's too much. So think about what they need to know for most jobs. Look at the industry itself and how people do this, what they say. And then think about what they really need. And this video is going to focus on what really needs to be there in each part so that you have a template in your head so that anytime you need to sit down and write these, you know what to do. So we get an interview by showing that we meet the company's needs. So you have the job ad and you have your own resume, but do more research. Look further at the company. Find out what's going on with the company. What are they looking at? If you can look up the LinkedIn profiles of people you would be working with, what are their interests? What have they been doing? Who are they? This gives you incredible intelligence and data that you can use to think about your approach, whether you're going to enjoy working at this company, whether this is the right place for you, whether you will fit in. And you can carry that into your interview and show that you're the type of person who would do research for your company, who would make sure that your solutions meet their needs. So you're going to be writing cover letters for your resume assignment soon, and be aware that the same skills that I give you for writing a cover letter can be adapted and used for an email, a cover email. And you're expected to write an email. Please never send anyone an email that just has your resume attached. Please don't do that. You do have to write some sort of email. It doesn't have to be the world's longest email, but you have to write it. So you have a salutation, and that needs to be professional, and before the opening paragraph you need to figure out who you're addressing this to. So if you have a specific person, great. Sometimes that means you call the company and you ask, who do I address my cover email or cover letter to? I would love to do the right thing. I want to make sure it gets to the correct person. This is great. I have had people actually use that as a screening mechanism to decide who gets an interview. If they can route it to the correct person and use the correct name spelled right on that email or cover letter. If you don't know, then please don't say to whom it may concern. Please do not also say as a substitute, dear sir or ma'am or madam or whatnot. Don't say that. I would prefer, if you do not know who you're sending this to, dear hiring manager. And you capitalize the H and you capitalize the M. So dear hiring manager. That is a good replacement if you do not know who you're sending this to. So once you've gotten your salutation cleared away, you're going to identify the following: what you want, the job you're seeking, where you heard about the job, whether it was a job fair, an online posting, who you know at the company, a company contact. Now this is something you might not always be able to do, but it is a great way to bypass traditional flow of applicants. So if you know someone, whether that is a recruiter or someone who is, established at the company, maybe you know the vice president, they live next door to your grandparents, you worked with someone who knows this person and you met them and they recommended that you apply. I would mention that. Now don't mention someone that you don't want to be associated with. So if you don't think that this is a good person to reference, then don't reference them. And then why you seem like a good fit for this company. You have to show that you understand the company culture and needs. So to be more succinct, job title, the exact job title. And if there's a number associated with it, include the number. Some people will highlight this by bolding it. The source of job information, so where you got this from. And remember, if you found the job on someplace like monster.com, one of these big job lists, go to the company website itself, find the job there, and use that as the basis for your application. The company contact, I put a question mark here because you might not have one, but if you do, this is an excellent way to include this. And you might say something like, I met John Perlman, who does coding under this branch, and he recommended that I apply. Great. They'll go to John, they'll say, hey, do you know so-and-so? Oh yeah, he's a great guy. All right, we'll bring him in for an interview. See, you've suddenly bypassed a lot of screening. And then if this person is a good fit for this position and company, that's one of the reasons why company contact works. It usually indicates fit. If someone already at the company thinks you would fit in, that seems to be an indicator that they should interview you. So demonstrate you attitude. When you write these emails and cover letters, your first inclination is to focus on your own needs because you need a job. You want a job. So everything you want to talk about is what you can do with this. This job will enable me to. Wonderful, that's great, but maybe that's not what you say to the person you want to have hire you because they are hiring you to solve their problems, not to help you solve your problems. So think about their point of view, think about their concerns and needs, and show that you meet employer needs, that you can create a win-win situation. And this is good for the rest of your career. Create win-win situations and focus on you first, the other person, the company, before you use I or me. So when I read these letters, maybe there's 10 sentences, 11 sentences. If 7 of the 11 sentences begin with the pronoun I, there's a problem. So be aware of that and start thinking about how you reference the company's needs. Now, please don't talk about all the problems the company has recently. They had a failed product launch. Maybe that's something you don't mention. Think carefully about what you do and don't mention, but look at what they want and need and request and what's in their job ad. Goals for the body paragraph, you're going to show how you meet the needs of the position, that you appreciate company goals, and you're going to highlight special skills or experiences or illuminate and clarify strengths on the resume. So if there's something, maybe one bullet point that you could spend more time on talking about how you founded an organization and all the skills that took. Maybe you learned coding or database management on your own when you were asked to help with something or given a class project or in another internship. That might be something that you talk about here and relate it to this company's goals, what they're looking for. So talk about them, talk about what you're bringing to the position and what you can bring, and then pull it back to them. Goals of the cover letter closing. You're going to show that you're interested in interviewing. You're going to provide an easy way to get in touch and mention any enclosures or attachments. So usually you begin by saying, you'd be thrilled to interview, that you'd be happy, you'd love to talk more about the requirements of the position or about the opportunity. That's an easy way to phrase this. And then, once again, I'm going to use the word easy. Let them get in touch with you. Press the easy button, or let them press the easy button to solve the problem, to get in touch with you, to hire you. So give them your best times. Here's when I'm going to be available. Can't wait to talk to you. And then if you have a resume or other documents enclosed in the letter or attached to the email, you mention them. I have attached my resume for your review. And can't wait to hear from you. All the best, so-and-so. So close professionally. Now, I do want to say real quick that some people will use bullets in the body to allow the hiring manager to quickly glance at their skill set and see that they meet the needs of the position. I support this. This is great. Make sure that those bullets are helpful and that they, really do show that you meet the needs of the position. And please don't have bullets traveling alone. Don't have one bullet. Maybe not 2 for this. If you're going to go for bullets on the cover letter, have at least 3 or more. So be you-oriented, not I-oriented. Focus on their needs. Demonstrate that you attitude with looking at their point of view, their concerns and needs, having a win-win focus, a sound a word choice that really shows that this is what you do and that you do focus on you first before I or me. Please don't start paragraphs with I. And always edit carefully. So edit again. If you make any changes, have someone read it aloud. Read those cover letters and emails aloud with someone who is going to spot errors before you press send or before you put it in an envelope and mail it. This is very important. I hope you have a great day and that this helped. Bye.